Hey everybody, it's Peter from Brantford Kia. We are here at the Canadian International Auto Show. We're in before the media is even in, so they're moving things around here. Don't worry about the background. We're going to focus on the foreground. Now, you may have seen us look at a car exactly like this. This is the 2021 Kia Seltos, and we've already seen it in LA. We're way ahead of everybody. This is the Canadian model, so we're going to take a look at it a little more closely. We're going to get it in our dealerships very soon, and at that point we'll do more in-depth videos. But let's take a look at it. Out front here, you've got a little bit of a patterned sort of, I don't know, dented. It has a feel to it. I shouldn't say dented, that's not the word we're looking for in the auto industry, but it is a textured sort of feel up top here of a metal trim. Down here you've got those LED lights, and we do know that they carry right into the grille. So you've got those daytime running lights that carry right from the outside into the grille. This particular model has LED lights. So again, I'm expecting a lot like the Soul, a lot like the Telluride, the Soul with the LED lights. You'll have the headlights and high beams and low beams in there. These would be your marker lights and signal lights. Sorry, signal lights down there, and your fog lights down there. Fog lights are also LED, so full LED front end over here. This is the turbo model, so underneath this hood is a 1.6 liter engine. It's got the dual clutch transmission. Now, we've used this engine and transmission before in other cars, and for instance, in our showroom, we have the Kia Forte 5 GT. The difference is going to be the horsepower number is lower. Now, usually what that means is it's not so much that it has less power, it's just that they move the power around in the power band. So I would expect more mid-range grunt from this, and when we get it on the showroom or on our dealership floor, we'll take it for a drive and we'll talk about that. So less peak horsepower, but same engine, same transmission, very reliable engine for us, 1.6 liter turbo. We're coming on the driver's side here. This one is labeled correctly, Seltos. We just did a video where they were not labeled correctly because, again, we're in very early. We're going to take a look at the side here. We've got the sort of a brushed aluminum look on all of the metal bits here. So from the roof racks down here to the door handles here, sort of that brushed aluminum look. You do have the blacked out pillar here, which goes along with this sort of silver trim here, and you get that floating roof kind of design to it. So different roof racks that we've had before, they function very similar, but they do have a nice sort of tailing edge here. It gives you a bit of a spoiler look on that. Down here we've got the wheels. They do have the red center caps on the turbo model, so that's standard on this particular car. You have the illusion of extra ground clearance. Now, there is good ground clearance on this car. This car will be a little bit more, not fully off-roadable, but it will have good ground clearance compared to something like the Soul or something like that. And you have the illusion of more ground clearance with these plastic trims here. Now, this trim level has a shiny rear trim coming up over here and a sort of a duller plastic trim down there. So you'll notice that on the road. These are the things you see in person that you maybe don't see on camera. We're gonna come along the back here. We've got a big diagonal diamond sort of shaped gas door here, kind of unique for us. Lighting, again, is unique in here. So again, I can't remember if these are LED or not. We'll double check that in the specs a little bit later. You got your backup lights built into there. These are probably reflectors down here, some venting type look down here with a diffuser type look. This one has backup beepers. So those beepers, when you back up, you'll have that in addition to the backup camera. Flipping up top here, you've got a good sized trunk. So these small crossovers are known to have tiny little trunks, tiny rear seat space. That's where the Seltos is gonna stand out. It is bigger inside, more spacious. One thing I love is you do have the underfloor storage, but you've got that drop down floor that we use in a lot of our cars now. The Telluride has that, the Kia Soul has that, the Sportage has that, and it gives you extra depth, so extra liters of space where you can put extra things in there, and it's super easy to move back and forth. If you fold the seats down, you just keep that up there. Fold the seats down, you'll have a nice level floor from the cargo area to the seats. There is a spare tire in this model if you're wondering about that. Let's hop inside the driver's area because that's really the exciting part of this car. Tons to show you. All right, this one has a lighter color interior. Now, I don't know the name of it offhand, I don't remember that, but it does look very nice. Has perforated seats, which go with the ventilated seats. So there's ventilated and heated seats in this car. Heated steering wheel, of course. Again, this is the top of the line model. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the car on here. In the center of your screen, you've got some nice gauges here. So typical analog gauges on the left and the right, sort of very similar look to what Kia normally does. In the center, you have a full display screen, and it's very clear, very easy to read. Park, reverse, neutral drive on the left. You've got a speedometer that's digital on the right, and a whole bunch of information in the middle. Now, I'm not going to start the car up. I'm just going to leave it in the on position here. You do have drive mode. So beside the gear shift here, I'll show you a picture of the drive mode knob. So instead of a button, it's a knob. You have Eco, Normal, and Sport mode. So that's one more drive mode than something like the Kia Soul has right now. Over in the center display, you have the screen that we've seen before in our other cars like the Telluride and in the Kia Soul. It's also in the PHEV Kia Niro, and we're expecting it in the future Niros as it comes through. The big difference here is you have a navigation screen which in this model shows some of the buildings in Toronto. You see 3D rendering, so I'll take a picture of that and I'll show it to you here in this part of the video here. Again, we're in downtown Toronto, so these are some of the buildings on Front Street, so we'll see where that how well that works in real life when we get the car in person. Down in this area, you have a different climate control system than we've seen before. So the auto button has 3 buttons on it, high, medium, and low. We're going to talk about that in a future video, but that's a new thing for us, so we'll explain some of that. Digital display in here, 23.5 degrees is what it's set for, very comfortable. Moving down further, you do have a wireless charging spot for your cell phone, and like some of our other cars, not like the Soul EV, you have a raised section for just your cell phone, which has wireless charging. Down below that is a space where you can store your other things there. 2 charge USB ports, 1 12-volt port down here. One of those charged USB ports will be for Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, which looks amazing on this bigger screen. Same gear shift as the Telluride and the Forte, so similar feel there. Moving back, automatic parking brake. In the general dash area, you've got a lot of the safety features that you expect from us. You've got the lane keeping assist, so we'll talk about some of those features when we get the car in stock. Bose audio system on this car as well. You have UVO intelligence, and unlike UVO intelligence that we do in our mirrors on most of our cars, this one's a lot more like the Telluride. We have buttons on the roof here. We'll show you a picture of what that looks like. So those buttons here are that UVO intelligence. That means you can control this car from an app. Very cool there. Nice sunroof above you. Again, very similar to the Kia Soul. As far as across the dash, I'll show you a picture across the dash here. You have some nice textures, some nice plastic up top. There is plastic in here, but it looks like leather. Maybe, I don't know, it looks leather-ish with stitching across the dash into the side areas there. I'm gonna get our camera person just to show you the door handles here. They kind of blend into the trim there, so very cool there. You can see the lighter color also carries into the doors there on the armrest, and of course that's soft touch. So anywhere you put your hands and arms and elbows, you're gonna have that nice soft touch. Tilt telescopic steering wheel, all standard stuff. This one may have a heads-up display. I'll have to double check it. It is expected to. One thing I didn't show you is on the back of our key fob here, maybe we can get our camera person to come in, there's an extra button on that. This one does have remote start. That was one thing we weren't sure if it was going to make it to production, but it does have that as well. So you can remote start from your key fob. You can also remote start from UVO Intelligence. So this is the Canadian model of the top of the line Kia Seltos, and it's beeping at me because I just took the key out of it. It is going to be in our dealerships very soon. We expect to see it soon. If you have questions, let us know in the comments below. And if you want to drive this car, there's a link in the description below, which will take you to our sales team. We are ready to test drive this car. This is going to be a volume model for us. We're excited about it. You need to compare it to what you have. You need to compare it to all the other models out there. It's going to crush the competition. It's got more space, lots of features. It's a great car for us, and we're looking forward to having it in our showroom. So there you go, everybody. 2021 Kia Seltos, the Canadian model.